Joining us now, my friend and economic strategist, the man who has money in the bank and he's never, ever late on a payment. His name is Dan Varroney. Dan Varroney, welcome to your morning wake up. Hey, Dan.
Good morning. And how are you today?
I've looked and I think I'm doing okay. Actually, Lisa sent me a message. She says, "No, you're okay. Just tell everyone you're fine." Okay. What's your favorite Easter candy?
Oh my gosh, who doesn't love the Reese's peanut butter eggs?
Come on. Gosh. Yeah, I go with that, and I go with the malted milk eggs. But I'm fortunate in my house. I am the only one who likes the marshmallow peepees, the little chickies. Nobody likes those but me. Yeah, it means more for me, but it's all more expensive, isn't it? So this is supply chain stuff. It's got to be.
Well, so it's actually bigger than that, right? So you're right about the 60% number. That growth in prices has happened over the last 5 years. Year over year, last year, this year is about 10%. So cocoa comes from somewhere else, the Ivory Coast, and the challenge is they've had droughts, they've had thick crops, and that's created a cocoa shortage, right? So when there's a lack of supply, what happens when demand goes up, price goes up. So that's one of the reasons. The other we're familiar with because we talked about this just last week, and that's the price of diesel. So whatever cocoa is available being shipped over, we're paying higher prices on the basis of diesel. There's also higher packaging prices, higher labor prices. All come together. That's where we are, and that's what the challenge is.
Probably prices. Everything's up. Price of sugar up. Yeah.
Yeah, prices. Of course, the price of sugar is up. What's interesting in this dynamic is that if you're in the business of making candy, you've got a demand opportunity, right? It's the Easter holiday, and regardless of prices, people are going to go out and buy it. So that's the situation that the candy makers are in. The demand is up. They're able to price their candy higher. They're putting less candy in the packages. It's known as shrinkflation.
Yeah, that chafes me, buddy. But they got to figure out how to make those profits somewhere. And there's people in the candy factory at Willy Wonka's place that got to make money. The Oompa Loompas are expensive.
Yeah, it's without a doubt one of the most challenging business environments that companies are facing. But what's interesting from my perspective is that Easter candy is just a microcosm of the total economy. So when you have inputs and energy and logistics rising together, prices reset higher. But that's just a microcosm, period.
I wonder after Easter, what's the next big candy holiday? Do we got to wait till Halloween?
I think we have to wait till Halloween. But, I usually, I'm observant of patterns and pricing. So I start to see there's Memorial Day candy or July 4th candy. And then come August, I start to see the Halloween candy out. And then as we get into October, I start to see the Christmas candy out. There was a Christmas not too long ago that I actually saw Easter candy in the food store on Christmas Eve. So the candy makers are on their game.
Wow. Okay. Well, candy is, we have to make a conscious decision to pull back on candy year round at the Austin family compound. We all have sweet tooths through teeth, sweet teeth. Dan Varroney, economic strategist, big time author too. Your book, Rethinking Economic Growth, is that part 1 and 2?
No, actually, it's Rethinking Economic Growth is part 2. That's my second book. My first book was Reimagining Industry Growth. That came out 4 years ago. Rethinking Economic Growth just came out a few months ago. That one is on small business.
I was going to cut you loose, but I got to ask this. It seems like every time I talk to you, Dan, and I hate to do it this way, but it's always bad economic messaging and stuff because that's the reality. When was the last time we got, say, Dan Varroney on and could say, hey, things are going really great?
So we were talking positively and positive economic news in early January because there's a tailwind, right? And we had the economy was improving, inflation was under control, prices were coming down. We started to see some mild improvements in the job market. We knew that the withholding brackets were going to be lower. People would have more money in their paychecks. We knew that people were going to get big refunds, and by the way, they are. They're averaging around $3,500 to $3,800. So it's what we're seeing in front of us in the short term, I think, is clouded, but I do think it ends, and it all has to do with the length of the conflict in Iran. I think when that ends, I think over a number of months, first of all, a number of weeks, gas prices will come down. A number of months, diesel prices will come down. And by the end of the year, I think the economy will be rocking pretty well again.
Excellent. Dan Varroney, you're a good man. Good to have you on, Dan. And we'll look for your book, find you on the web, Rethinking Economic Growth. And if you have an event coming up or if you're planning some kind of a conference or something, Dan does some keynote speeches that are very inspiring. Look him up. Dan Varroney, ain't no baloney. Where do we find you on the web, Danny?
Well, you'll find me at danielvarroney.com, and Rethinking Economic Growth is there right now at amazon.com.
Excellent. Appreciate it. You're right next to my book, I bet you. Dan, have a great day. We appreciate you, and we'll be in touch again. See you.